Hi, it's Alexis. In this video, I'm going to explain you how you can be more interesting to your ex. You might be in the situation where you try everything to get her or him to respond and they ignore you. You try your best, you're working on yourself, but nothing seems to work. And I'm going to explain you in this video why what you're doing doesn't work and what you should be doing right now. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Before I move on, I'll be really glad if you could subscribe to the channel. It will also help you learn every day a new thing and see myself, see my face every day. You can call me. I love to speak with you guys. You're part of a growing community and my job is to help you out. So I have about 10 slots during per week where you can basically call me for free and I provide you tips, advice, anything I can do to help you. Sometimes it really helps to get you unstuck. And last but not least, there's a quiz for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. It takes literally 2 minutes to complete and you have the result with tailored tips depending on your situation. So let's get started. We either lost value through the relationship, the kind of the routine that sort of affect the chemistry between you guys, or you did something really bad that triggered that breakup. We're going to look at how you can increase the value. I'm going to use the term value a lot. Apologize if you don't feel like it's appropriate, but I'm going to use that term anyway. How you can raise that value towards your ex. First, you enter the relationship with a high value. You were madly in love. You were really close to each other. Because you created this relationship, you were together, and that's why my job is kind of easy because I know it's possible for you to get back together. You were so happy before. Therefore, there is something, there's chemistry, there's love, there's connection, and we can recreate that. The only question is how, right? So the why, you know why, but it's the how and the what where I would help you out. So your value was sufficient for this, and you outperform other people. So when it came to dating people, they selected you, not anyone else. Hence, you were above the other. And again, I'm using value, but just to make my point. Now, the equations. And the thing that most people struggle with. After some time, you feel lazy, you sort of complacent with the situation, you don't make any effort, you wait, you gain or lose weight, maybe you've done some mistakes, things you've said, you cheated on your partner, the lack of support, maybe they went through something difficult and you weren't there for them. Maybe you had different vision in life, maybe they wanted to have a family or they wanted to travel the world, but you have different vision of the life, maybe some misunderstanding, maybe arguments, maybe defects, all these things that could trigger and affect your value. So trigger the breakup and affect your value. You were there in their head and now you're here because of maybe one or multiple of these things. So the most common mistake people make is that they think, I screwed up. Let's get back to where we were at the beginning. It was so great, you know, we had such a strong chemistry. Why don't we get back to that place? The thing is, your value is the present value. And so at the beginning of the relationship, the difficulty here, if you want to get back to that, back in time to where you were at the beginning, your ex didn't know you very well. So it's the honeymoon phase. And anything you were doing, anything you were saying were sublimated. They were seeing like, oh yeah, he's amazing, he's so handsome. Because we are in this bubble, we have this vision of our partner different. And with time, we get to know each other. And very quickly or very gradually, that honeymoon phase ends about 6 months in the relationship. And the thing is, that's why it's really dangerous to think like, I want to get back to the first date, to where we were at the beginning in this hotel when we had sex for the first time, all things like that. It's different. You would never be able to reproduce those emotions because it's the honeymoon phase. It doesn't mean that you won't get back together. It just means that your objective is not to get back to that place, but to work on yourself differently. So your value is what it is today. What I mean by that is his vision is the one you give today. It's not the one in the past. It doesn't matter. And I know most people during a breakup, they look back at all the points I mentioned. Why your ex decided to break up, and maybe why you decided to break up the relationship. Something was not working, and we dwell on the past. We feel like, okay, I should have said that, should have done that. What if? It doesn't matter. It's done. What you have to do is focus on today. Focus on the future. I say that almost every day to my clients. Focus on today, because it is the most important thing you can do right now. The question with your ex is not whether you made a mistake, is how you tackle that mistake, how you overcome those challenges. Everybody makes mistakes. We all have a right to a second chance. The only thing that differentiates people who manage to get back with the ex and people who don't is their reaction to that challenge. Do you have the strength? Do you have the energy? Do you have the motivation to make it work? Or you're just complacent, you're lazy, you're just like giving up without even trying. That's the whole thing, and that's why I help people on a daily basis to be the best version of themselves, because if you put the right motivation, if you put the right energy, if you have the right mindset, if you're focusing on the future, it can work. You can be that person, you can be that partner, you can fix what's broken. So, start a positive trend. Your actions today outweigh those of the past. Again, what your ex will see is what you're doing right now. Things in the past are in the past. Even maybe at the beginning, just right after the breakup, it would be very clear in their mind, but with time, with weeks and months of radio silence, for example, those memories will fade away. And so everything you do today counts 10 times more than what you did before. And so what I want you to think, and that's why I use these pictures, to add layers to your personality. And what I say layers is just to do step by step, adding a little bit more layer. What you don't want to do is think of, yeah, my ex is still mad at me for something. It's also what you don't have to do is to do the big thing. Try to overdo things. So maybe you were not very, didn't do a lot of sport, and then out of a sudden you're running a marathon, you're doing Ironman, you're working out, you're showing off. It's too much. Your ex will really see that as he's trying or she's trying to manipulate me. She's trying to fake it just to get back with me. This is not what you have to do. You have to be authentic, you have to work on yourself, but you have to do it step by step. And I think the danger of doing that as well is you're not going to be able to sustain that effort. So just remember, you have always a chance to change the other's perception of us. Always, 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 always. And as I said, change the perception slowly. Mentioned that before. Don't try to do it too much. Don't, maybe you were not very generous, and all of a sudden you're creating a school in Africa, or you're giving all your money. They will see that it's different. They'll see that you're trying to fake it, you're pushing yourself too much. Also, it's possible to apologize for negative events. It's not a sign of your low value, you're feeling that you're inferior, but just do it once. Okay, you just apologize for what you've done, apologize for what you've said, and then you stop. Radio silence or stay in contact, but you work on yourself. Don't spend ages apologizing. I did that, it sucked, I apologize, I will work on it. You stop, radio silence for a month or two, and you work on it. Because your ex will say, okay, I'm willing to give him or her a second chance. Prove me in 1 or 2 months where you're at. And the whole point is, what are you doing with those months? Are you seeing a coach, or maybe a sport coach, or a coach about myself? Are you seeing a psychotherapist, hypnotherapist to work on maybe your anger, your emotions? This is what we're going to do. This is what your ex will going to analyze whenever you get back in touch. Okay, you told me you worked on your anger management. Okay, fair enough. Let's hang out. And next time there's something a little bit where in the same situation would be angry, they'll see whether you've changed or not. So they would always sort of analyze and test things out to make sure that what you're showing is not a mask, is your true self, and you basically change for good. And changing is not so much hard, but it requires consistency, authenticity, and motivation. And that's what I do with my clients on a daily basis, is to really help them be consistent. Because most of you watching this video, you are really motivated to want to get back with your ex. I have no doubt about that. But it's how you apply that motivation to do and achieve a specific goal. First, you have to maybe identify that goal. You don't know about this goal. So also I help my clients understanding what's the pain point, what was the reason of this breakup. And then work on it every day, every single day. Maybe it's like 30 minutes per week, per day, working out on your abs. Maybe it's just having a coach, talking to a coach on a daily basis. Maybe there's so many options, and you have to be true to yourself and really assess whether you're doing the right things right now. That's it. I have no slides. Take care.